Hello, you are joining me and Stanley out on our morning walk today. I'm not in the Scottish Highlands, which is a bit different from my videos. I'm actually not even in Scotland today. That riverbank there is Scotland. I'm down at my family home, which sits right on the border between England and Scotland. So we're just walking along by the River Tweed here. It's a really nice spot. You could probably hear all the birds this morning. Sometimes we see the occasional otter down here, but I've not seen them for quite a while. I don't know if we'll get lucky today. But there's a few ducks and things out in the river, and Stanley's enjoying all the sniffs that are down here. So we'll do our morning loop, and then me and my mum are off out for a little adventure today. So come and join me. Since getting Stanley, we've found out that the big ears of a wire-haired dachshund are very good at hearing when you take the cheese packet out of the fridge, even when they're upstairs. But if they're on an important sniff, they deactivate instantly when you call their name to get them to come back to you. So for his own safety, unless we're in an enclosed space, we stick to the long lead when out on walks. I love when the weather is so calm that you get a perfect mirror-like reflection on the river. We're coming up to the bridge now, which Stanley always gets excited about and likes to disturb this piece by barking very loudly under it. I think he's fascinated by the echo that his bark creates. We had quite a bit of rain in June, and it often creates a massive puddle at the bottom of this field. Unfortunately, my butt boots are no longer waterproof, so I have to tread very carefully along the edge. Unlike Stanley, who just plods where he likes. Come on, Stanley! I enjoy looking at all the different plants in the hedgerow along here. At this time of year, there are lots of busy bumblebees out collecting nectar. There's a couple of swans with 2 cygnets out on the river. Cygnets apparently have a really high mortality rate, with only a 50% survival rate until they reach 1 year old, which makes me rather sad. I hope these 2 survive. Tangled Fibre Festival is held in the Volunteer Hall and the Scout Hall in the centre of Galashiels, a Scottish border town with a rich history in the textile industry, so it's a very fitting location for a yarn festival. We went to the fibre market first in the Volunteer Hall, which has lots of lovely exhibitors selling a range of wonderful squishy yarns, knitting patterns, craft kits and supplies. I could have spent an awful lot of money in here, but I limited myself to just a few different balls of yarn. Heading a bit further down the street, we then called into the fleece market in the Scout Hall. It was a bit quieter in here, which made it easier to look around the displays they had set up. I was very interested in the natural dyeing display, and actually ended up going home and buying this book by Jenny Dean. In the next room they had rows of tables, each with packets of fleece available to buy, as well as information on each different breed. The spent quite a lot of time reading the information boards and trying to decide which fleece I wanted to buy to try spinning with. So that's me and my mum just back from Tangled Galashiels Yarn Festival. It was really great. I think we both had a really good time. There was lots to see, lots of lovely yarn to just squish and feel. I treated myself to a few new balls of yarn, so I got this nice light blue colour from the Berlin Yarn Company, which is actually produced by a lady on Bernaway, which is somewhere that we actually went last September as part of our US trip, and I'm actually going to share a video about that trip fairly soon. So anyways, I got this colour in ice. My mum also got a couple balls of yarn from the Berlin Yarn Company as well, and a pattern to make a little scarf shawl, so I hope she has fun with that. Next I got a couple balls of yarn from the Border Mill Company. The Border Mill is based in Duns, which is actually about a 15-minute drive from my parents' house, and I actually didn't even know they existed until this fibre festival, so it's really interesting to learn that they were there. They've got really nice colours. I went for two kind of grey shades because I kind of feel I'm a bit short on grey colours for my tapestry. So both of these are from pure North Country Cheviot lamb's wool, so they feel very nice. So that was it for yarn, and then I went a bit crazy in the fibre market. I got some Beaumont fleece, which isn't a sheep I'm that familiar with. I think I read on the sign today that it was kind of England's version of the merino sheep. Yeah, I just kind of wanted a plain one. I might do a bit of experimenting with natural dyes, but we'll kind of see how that goes. But all these bundles of fibres that they had for sale, like there's some English breeds of sheep, but they're all from farms based around the borders, so that's a nice sort of Scottish connection. I also got Jacob. I think Jacob's one of my favourite sheep. I just love the colours, and they always have really cool big horns. So I'm quite intrigued to see how this spins on my wheel. I think it'll be quite an interesting mixed colour. I also got Hebridean. It's another sheep that I really like. So that's a really nice dark wool there, which should hopefully be nice to spin. And then this one's Border Leicester. I love a Border Leicester sheep as well. Jacob, Hebridean and Border Leicester. Probably my top 3 favourite sheep. I don't know. I like a lot of sheep. I once set myself a challenge to draw every single British sheep breed of sheep, which turns out there's an awful lot of sheep. But I did learn an awful lot about all the different breeds of sheep, which was really fun. So I think I'm going to have a go at spinning now. I'm not too sure which one I'll go for. Maybe just the Beaumont. See how that one spins first of all. Although I am quite tempted by the Jacob, so we'll see what I decide to do. Little Stanley has decided to fall asleep right where I want to put my wheel. Ooh, got a bit of a stretch. Ooh, big stretch. I'll let him off though, because he's very cute. I realise I've not really talked about my spinning journey in my videos yet. I'll probably go a bit more in depth with this in another video at some point, but I basically started learning to spin back in November last year, when I was kindly lent a Shetland spinning wheel. It was a lovely wheel, but I really struggled with it and made very little progress. So then I took the plunge and bought my own wheel, just a few days before going to the Fibre Festival. I'm still quite new to all of this, and far from being perfect. But I'm actually quite enjoying embracing the characterful yarn that I'm creating. However, I will say that I really struggled with this Beaumont fleece that I tried here. I bought fleece that was labelled as washed, but I have a feeling that this one had the wrong label on the bag. It had so much lanolin in it, making it so horribly sticky that I just couldn't work with it, and I ended up having to give up. I decided instead to switch to the Jacob wool, which was much nicer to handle. However, with hindsight, I should have researched how to properly use the carders I had, but I was too impatient to get spinning that I instead ended up spinning with big balls of half-combed fleece, which resulted in some rather lumpy singles. When I then went to ply these lumpy singles, I found that some of the lumps were getting stuck in the orifice, and I kept having to stop to push it through. So definitely a good few lessons learned here, but I'm actually quite happy with my rather lumpy Jacob yarn, and I think it will actually make quite a cool textured weaving. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video. If you did, please leave me a like, a comment, and hit subscribe, as it really does help my little channel to grow. See you soon!